Still have these water bears. This Friday will be 5 weeks. So I'm kind of searching around. I saw some this morning on here, so I know they're here. And I'll find one in a minute. That's some water bear. That's some tardigrade eggs right there. So enjoy that while I get my glasses, please. So these look like, this looks like a new set of tardigrade eggs because I didn't have any in that section of the slide. And you can see they're in pretty good shape there. Just give me a second, I'm looking for my glasses because I can't see. There you go. And I'm gonna stream to Reddit also, like I usually do on RPan. So let's see. So that's pretty cool. You can see, I know my friends that have been here a while know what this is. Tardigrades lay their eggs, or they shed their skin, and their eggs stay in their skin until they hatch. So. So that's pretty cool. I'm just starting on my Reddit RPan, so I could stream there. I hadn't had much luck on Reddit recently. Not too many, but boy, these eggs look good. Check that out. Let's see. All right, there you go. Look at that fool. Get out of there. A rotifer coming over here, aggravating my tardigrade skin. So, okay, we live on Reddit also. So if you're on Reddit, you're looking at a tardigrade skin, I guess you would call it. It's not really skin, a cuticle maybe, with 3 eggs inside of it, with a little rotifer hanging around. And that's a tardigrade down here, doing what tardigrades do. And you can see inside of him, it looks like his digestive tract. Doesn't look like this one has eggs in it, but there you go. So there's tardigrade. I have some other ones on here for sure. These boulders right here, as I said before, are grains of sand or dirt. So one of these is a grain of dirt. So you can see how little these things are if that's one grain of dirt. And here's the tardigrade eggs again, just in case you missed it a minute ago. And you can see how good this looks. You can actually see there's 2 feet in the back, and there's 2 more, 2 more, and 2 more. So you can actually see the 8 feet, the 8 legs on this tardigrade skin with 3 eggs inside. So that's what that is. And there's a tardigrade down here. This one found him a chunk of food right there. How do tardigrades die? Well, they get old. Either something, 2 ways pretty much. Either something eats them, maybe a worm or larva, insect larva of some type, or they get old. I mean, they get old and die in 6 months to a year. and they could be killed by chemicals and stuff. They hard to kill with when they're in that dormant phase, but not hard to kill when they are active like this. I mean, I could add a drop of bleach and pretty much kill them. You don't want to do that. These are rotifers right here, which are pretty good in their own sense. I mean, these are animals too. They're not related to the tardigrade, but they're pretty neat. You can see how they filter water around them. No, I'm answering questions on Reddit if my YouTube people are here. No, tardigrades, let me go up a little bit. And tardigrades will shed their skin even when they don't have eggs. They'll shed their skin for just to grow. That's how they grow. So that's actually a tardigrade skin right there with the eggs. And boy, you could really see. And it looks like these are pretty good. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on these, but they take so long to hatch. So like, let's say if this, if these eggs are 2 weeks old, well, man, they still have 4 to 6 weeks to go. And by that time you see these little creatures moving around. They move around and they drift down to the bottom down here, and you kind of lose track of them. See, he's moving it around. That little paramecium guy's moving it around as we talk. I don't know, lady, if these are new. These look new to me because I kind of, over the last 5 weeks, I kind of got an idea of where things are on this slide. And these were not sitting right here, even 2 days ago. I look at this slide every day, and I didn't see these. So either they got moved a great distance from somewhere else, or these are new. My thinking is they're new. So I think these are new. It's amazing on here. You could even see the little fingernails, the little claws of the tardigrade after he shed. Or she shed. So this is about, when I zoom out like that, that's 150 times. So this is 150x right here. And these are rotifers, of course. And I've been experimenting with diffused light or deflected light, and you kind of can get a little better idea of how these things look in nature to other animals with the deflected light. So let me try that real quick. See if you see how that, look at that. You see that rotifer moving water around? Look at it. It's actually moving these eggs around. See that? Look, did you see that? The tardigrade skin actually turned upside down, and the feet were facing directly up. So you could see the 3D-ness of it as it turns. See? So right now he's laying on, see, now you can see almost all 6 legs. So right now it's pretty much laying on his back. So you can see the 3D shape of this skin. It's not just 2-dimensional. Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, so lady saying the whole tardigrade skin just flipped. That's right, that rotifer, he got stuck in that rotifer's current, and he did flip him. And that gave you an idea of, you're not just looking at a flat object here. You're looking at almost like a Macy's Day balloon of the tardigrade, and these eggs are inside. So that was pretty cool. Let me see if I can deflect this light a little bit. Hang on. This is probably more of how they would look to other creatures in the water. When you're looking from below, when you're shining a light on them from below, it's going through all the layers and stuff in them. Well, look at that. You could see that egg moving. Look at that. Hold on. Can you see movement in that egg? Watch. And look at that. That front egg has activity. So in this 3D view, you could see, unless I'm imagining things, I could have swore that front egg had some motion in there. I'm not talking about the whole tardigrade moving. I'm talking about the egg itself. Oh, the one on the right also? Let's see. Well, the one on the right, I can't tell because it's got that algae underneath it. That might be moving it, but I could have swore I saw some, almost like, like a baby would be moving. Let's watch it some more. And it wasn't because the water was moving. It looked like the insides of that egg were actually moving. Yeah, I can see it. It is moving. Looks like it's churning a little bit. Oh, that's definitely got activity. So these eggs are viable. These eggs are really, these are fertilized and they're moving. Look at that. Yep. And I can't do it right now, but after we get off, I can time lapse this. I'll make a time lapse of it and you'll be able to see it really good. And I'll post it because this egg has definitely got life. Definitely got life. There you go. So in reality, look at that. That's crazy. Yeah, there goes the one on the right. The one on the right's doing it now. Wow, that's neat. All right. So it looks like we have a viable tardigrade egg here. So I'm gonna do I'll do a time lapse later. Let's see if I can find. So again, this is how, I don't want to say exactly, and when I say how, this is how a creature with eyes may see. This tardigrade sleeping, or whenever I see tardigrades like this, they usually come back around in a little while. So let me, so you can see this tardigrade right here is kind of just floating on his back with his feet up in the air. If I keep this camera here long enough, he'll start to move. So you can see the other little creatures, single cell creatures hanging around. We kind of try to mark where those eggs are. Hang on. I know they're at the bottom. There they are. So they're about on the bottom right of my slide, about a third in. Yeah, this slide's not very cool in there right now and overnight where this slide was. So this slide's pretty active. And you always see some sleeping tardigrades. They always tend to have some on here. But they usually don't take too long to start moving again. Yeah, so This one's a little tired. So let's see if we can look around a little bit. I got a lot of rotifers on here. They reproduce like crazy. I mean, if you ever want rotifers, go dig up, excuse me, go dig up some, anything really, pond water, puddle water, there's rotifers in it. That looks to be one single tardigrade egg that's out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this one's trying to protect it or something. See her eye spot, the eye spot. And I've had this slide going. This Friday will be 5 weeks, so over a month. You see this rotifer has a lot of green in his belly. That's from that cyanobacteria it's been eating. Those dots in there, I don't believe those are eggs. That's just part of its digestive system. I'd really have to research on how that works. Yeah, I mean, anything could eat the eggs. Nothing, I don't think I have anything on this slide that would eat the eggs. Maybe some bacteria, but I don't see much of that. These creatures right here, I mean, they're just not big enough to eat these eggs. They usually siphon in parts of algae and bacteria and stuff. These eggs are too big. So as long as I can keep flatworms off of here, and not cross-contaminate it, there's really nothing on here besides bacteria that can do any harm to those eggs. So you can see it's all tardigrade. Looks like tardigrade, a few other single-celled creatures like these. I think these aren't paramecium. I forgot the exact name for them, but it looks like we have a lot of creatures on here, but a lot of the same creatures. No, you try to keep worms and stuff like that. Even amoebas, you don't want any amoebas on here. Not that they would eat tardigrades, that'd be kind of hard. I guess they could, but they'd surely go around those tardigrade eggs, amoebas. Yeah, potato, these are water bears. And this is kind of a small one right here. This might be a newborn hanging on that algae. So after I finish streaming here, I'm going to go do a time lapse on those eggs to see, because you can see the insides moving on those eggs. This looks like a rotifer skin. I didn't know rotifers laid their eggs like this. This looks like a rotifer did the same as our tardigrade and left his egg in the skin there. So I didn't know they did that. I thought they just laid their eggs. You don't really. Hey, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Been busy, with the family. My granddaughter just got over the flu. She actually had the flu. You don't feed them, but yeah, I guess you do. You gotta kind of put new distilled water in it with a couple of drops of algae, maybe some moss leaves and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess you do feed them. Whenever you go get moss leaves and stuff from the ground and everything, you gotta be careful because you don't want to get amoebas and you don't want to get flatworms in here because they'll, yeah, they'll or bacteria. A lot of stuff can put a damper on your slide. so, so look at this big one. You see that one's kind of small. Look at this giant. So that's a giant one. Let's see, somebody's asking more questions on Reddit. Did you see the video on Reddit about the single-celled organism dying? No, I didn't see that. I may have seen it, but maybe not described like that. I'll have to look. If you could post me a link, I'll check it out. This tardigrade's like on his back. There you go. He just flipped over. Now we're looking down on him. So this one's kind of like crawling on the slide. And the other one's going in the opposite direction. So now you got three. I got three on one frame. That's pretty unique. I don't think I ever had more than three at one time on one. Let's see if we can get four. Do I hear four? Oh, not quite. Yeah, there you go. One over there to the left, 2, 3, and then 4 right there. So that's pretty cool. So you got 4 of them on one, in one frame of 150. So there's 150X and you got 4 tardigrades in there. Now 3. You got the 3 biggest ones. These are microscopic animals. Oh man, there's a name for them. The word is sort of like micro animals, or I'd have to look, but they are true animals. They're invertebrates. They don't have a backbone. They don't have bone, but there are multicellular animals. And look, I was just talking about amoebas, and I found one. See that right there? That's an amoeba. Ugh, get out of here, amoeba. And it looks like he's got a piece of algae inside of him. So this amoeba was just ingested a little bit of algae. And so that's an amoeba right there, that yellow thing. Let's see. Yeah, I got the link. I'll check it out. If I click on it now, I'm going to lose my spot. So I'll check it out in a little bit. Thanks. Those other things floating around, the bigger ones are sort of like, they're not a paramecium, but they're that type. They're single cells. Like that one up there is a single-celled organism. Unlike these are multicellular animals. Those other ones are single-celled. This amoeba, there's 2 amoebas on here, so I spoke too soon. So I got some amoebas on here. Yeah, an amoeba is a single-celled creature that eats anything smaller than it that doesn't really need to even be smaller than it. It'll get on something bigger, but whatever it gets on has to kind of remain pretty still. Like this. The amoeba's not going to be able to eat this tardigrade. Tardigrade will rip it to pieces. But it'll get on anything that's injured maybe, or that just stays still for a minute and allows it to wrap around it, sort of like the movie The Blob. Yeah, these are water bears. Yeah, there's no bugs on here, so to speak, insects. Bugs would be considered insects, I guess. So there's no bugs, and you don't really want any insect larvae on here, because insect larvae, they like to eat. Some of them like to eat, and they'll, devour anything. Shrimp, baby tiny shrimp species will just scrape off anything off the bottom. Hey, Anita. I got Anita on YouTube. Yeah, I was just looking at these tardigrades, asking what can harm. Some people ask what can harm the tardigrade eggs, and I was saying, well, amoebas can hurt. You know, can eat the eggs, but I don't think I have any on here. As soon as I said that, I found one lurking around right here. This amoeba actually ate some cyanobacteria. You could see it on his butt end there, tangled in it. So. Yeah, there are amoebas in here. I use that find. I only find amoeba. Are they usually in rainwater? I only find amoebas in rotifers. When you say are they usually in rainwater, like you mean water bears in rainwater? Yeah, water bears. If you're talking about water bears, you're not just going to find them in clean rainwater. I guess if the rainwater runs off over some moss and dirt and plant matter and collects in a puddle, yeah, you can get them. But these tend to be, they like to live in moss and you know, plant matter like moss and lichens and stuff. So you could see right here, I got two of them on the same view. This is about 200x here. Uh-oh. There you go. Now I'm getting some. Now I'm getting some viewers. It's going up and down. So somebody, I think a cat video must have just went off the air. So whoever just joined here, I'm streaming to YouTube and Reddit at the same time. And this is a little black and white of my tardigrades. You know, I took out all the color. You have a couple of filters on YouTube that you can use, and it'll translate over into my RPAN studio. Yeah, yours was the first sperm comments I've seen today. So yeah, usually you get somebody asking about sperm. Look, these comments are flying by now, so I'll try to answer them. No, they don't get bothered by the light. I've never seen them flee from the light, so I don't think the lights bother them. No, they're not parasites. That's for sure. They're not parasites. So water bears aren't parasites, thank God. So I'm trying to answer the questions as they come by. So let's see, there you go. Yeah, tardigrades rock. Yeah, Trick Grand, it's tardigrade. So these are water bears, microscopic animals right here. So, and like I said, if you see somebody asking what this is, these questions are flying by. So sorry, I can't get to them all, but these are tardigrades. Yeah, these, as a matter of fact, Anita on YouTube just said these are awoken by light. That's right. If I have these in the dark all night and then come in the morning, they seem to be sleeping. Okay, and when they are sleeping, as soon as I put light on them, in about 15 minutes, they go crazy and they start waking up. Yeah, everyone smash the upvote and give this awesome grandpa some award. Yeah, I am an awesome grandpa. I just took care of my granddaughter. She's 5. She was sick for a few days. We finally brought her in, and she wasn't deathly sick, but she had a little fever. We brought her in. They did a COVID test and a flu test. And I said, she's not going to have COVID or the flu. Came back, she got the flu. So I might get that. No, water bears aren't found in the human body. You could get them in there, but your immune system would pretty much take care of them. So, and you can see this tardigrade right here, and you can see how that big dark area right there, that's just, you can see that's plant matter. That is actually moss, where tardigrades like to be. Let me go back to regular color here. So if I go back to regular color and zoom out a little bit, notice what this is. See this right here? This is moss. This is where you find tardigrades if you really want to look for them. This is the green stuff that grows in the cracks of your of your sidewalk where it might be moist. So that's where tardigrades, they like to eat that stuff. No, water bears don't regenerate like planaria. They're too complicated for that. They're multicellular animals, so. Let me find me another tardigrade before I lose my people here. There you go. So this, just if you're interested, this is 60x. So this is 60 times. And look how small that tardigrade is. Yeah, it does look like a Christmas tree, doesn't it? So this is 60x. So if I go to 150, this is 150. So you can see how small these are. And now I use pinch zoom on the iPhone to zoom in and out. So this is about 400 with about, 150 optical and the rest pinch zoom. I ain't even try to add it. So probably trying to get to that moss. Yeah. And somebody said that moss does look like a Christmas tree. Yeah, they make babies. Well, they don't make babies like mammals. They lay eggs. And I have some eggs on here. I could show you the eggs. Anybody want to see the eggs that just came? I got 20,000 viewers, so y'all probably didn't see the eggs. Yeah, it is a different world, billionaire. Yeah, they have what you would consider skin. Look, this one's, whenever they bend around like that, they're usually eating. So, yeah, you could see through them. People say, why is everything in the microscopic world transparent? Well, because if they wasn't transparent, they'd be easy to see. That's for sure. Let me zoom out and go back to my tardigrade eggs so my new people can see what we were talking about here. Sorry about that. I got my YouTube comments on here. So you can see there's two tardigrades there. Uh-oh, did I lose my eggs? I thought those eggs were somewhere right here. So let me try to find them. If I can't, we'll just go back to the tardigrades. Boy, look at them all. I mean, look at all the tardigrades. There's 3 of them right here. I lost my tardigrade eggs. God darn it. And they were pretty cool. Okay, so anyway, let's go back in. And so now you got 2 tardigrades at 150x. There's a sleeping tardigrade right up there that looks kind of young. Oh, come on, YouTube, you're killing me. So this one, that's not a skin. That's actually one that's just taking a break. Yeah, it's probably not bacilli. That's not bacteria. Those are creatures kind of related to paramecium. Can I zoom all the way out so we can understand the true size of what we're looking at? Effective aggression. Yeah, well, I think I just did that, but this is about, hey JT, I'm just using a regular light microscope with an iPhone attached. The microscope's nothing special. It's decent. It's a decent scope, but it's not a $1,000 scope. The tardigrades could eat amoebas. They would suck the juice out of them. So just to give you some idea of scale, this right here is 150, okay? This is 150x. Okay, this is 60x. This is the lowest power I can go, is 60. Okay, so in reality, if you're looking at 60x right here, you could put 60 of these tardigrades on one tardigrade in this picture. So you know how small they are. These boulders right here, see these 3 boulders right there? Those are actually grains of sand, of dirt. So now you could see 3 grains of dirt right here as compared to the size of these rotifers and these tardigrades right here. So that should give you some idea of the scale of what you're looking at. As far as a human hair, I had a human hair. I had one of my hairs on here the other day, and you can't get them focused with the tardigrade, but you could see that probably 3 or 4 tardigrades would fit width-wise over one hair. So they are small. You're gonna puke. Somebody said they're gonna puke. Yeah, they could be frozen and come back to life. And I can't see all the questions are zipping by, so sorry about that if I can't get to them all. If you really have a question you need answered, that's just driving you crazy, just message me and I'll, usually within a few hours, I get back to you. Yeah, so Francisco is asking what are these on YouTube is asking what are these other creatures? I think he's talking about these rotifers right here. These ones right here. These are multicellular animals also. They're different than tardigrades, but they're animals nonetheless, and they're called rotifers because the front of them rotates like that, and they always moving and filtering in stuff. So you can see how powerful they are. They actually move algae and stuff that float by and go into their mouths. So that's a rotifer. The other ones are single cell creatures, kind of related to paramecium. They're not animals, they're single cells. And sorry about that. Every time I pinch zoom, my questions come up on YouTube and everybody can see them. This is just pretty much pond, puddle water that I had some moss. You get these in moss. Danny time. Well, they do, some species of tardigrades do have sex. Yep, they live in space. Their mouth look, yeah, those other ones, their mouth look like little saws. I don't know if they're conscious, but they know where they want to go. Vaccinated blood samples. Show us, this is vaccinated blood samples. This is, these are what they put in you to go fight the COVID virus. So what we're gonna do is I gotta go pick up my daughter. She's in therapy, so I got a whole bunch of family issues like other people. So I gotta go pick her up in about 10 minutes. So enjoy this while you can. So, and usually I could just let it run, but it would get pretty boring because they would move out the way. Yeah, they kind of look like a manatee, I guess. They look more like, yeah, that's a tardigrade. I don't know if tardigrades fight. I'm gonna zoom out and I'm gonna see if I can find those eggs again. Hang on. I mean, you could see since this slide has been in the light. Here's tardigrade eggs right here. This isn't the same ones I had before, but notice how that tardigrade shell right there. You can actually see the shape of the tardigrade right here. And those are 2 tardigrade eggs inside of it. So those 2 things will become baby tardigrades. And what they do is they have their eggs inside of them and then they'll shed their skin like you see here. And the eggs will sit and they protect it inside of that skin. Yeah, if you catch. They don't have any bones. They're invertebrates for sure. So there's your eggs. And that's the eggs. This is 150 times. So this is 150x, 150 times right here. So to show you how small they are, you could fit 150 of those eggs on one of those eggs. So that's how small these are. Water bears that aren't hibernating only live about 6 months, maybe a year. And found in nature, they're found mostly in moss and lichen, you know, that green stuff that grows all over the place. So there they are, eggs. Here's a sleeping tardigrade. Let's see. Come on, YouTube. So this one right here, this one's kind of, it's not in a hibernation. This is usually what they look like when I take them out of the dark garage. You can see the rotifer right here and the tardigrade taking a break. And look, he might be, since I got this light right on him, he might be starting to move around a little bit. Yeah, that was an egg, Godzilla. Yeah, it's not a nucleus. Tardigrades have 10,000, 20,000 nucleuses because they're multicellular. They have about 20,000 cells. So there's the eggs again. I had one with 3 eggs in it, and it was really cool because you could see the eggs moving. Let me show you what these look like realistically. When you're looking at them like this, you're looking at the light coming up from the bottom, okay? And it passes through everything in it. So you tend to see it a false, how it really looks. If I manipulate the light a little bit, this is more how these things would look to another creature, okay? With the light kind of coming from all angles instead of just from below. So that's what a tardigrade would look like, say, if you were tiny as a tardigrade and could see it, that's what it would look like this. And you can see this other stuff, you get a little 3D view of different, that's an amoeba right there. So hopefully this amoeba stays away from that tardigrade, because this amoeba right here will try to eat that tardigrade. And this amoeba right here has something in it. This amoeba might have an egg in it. Let's see. Let me go back to regular light here. Uh-oh. This amoeba eat my... I can't tell. I don't know if that's part of the amoeba or not. But that's an amoeba right there. So, and amoebas look a little better, I think, when you're looking at them sort of like 3D with the light being bent over them. You can see the 3D nature of the amoeba. So here's these tardigrades again, pretty much with the light deflected and being bent around from all angles. Yeah, the amoeba can't eat the tardigrade. Tardigrades move around too much and they're too big, you know. But the amoeba could, realistically, they could surround those eggs. But what an amoeba does, it likes to look for living tissue. Okay, an amoeba tends not to eat sticks. So the good thing about this is that the tardigrades lay their eggs, shed their skin, and the skin would protect them from amoebas, because the amoeba would bump up right next to that skin and say, well, I don't want this. This isn't alive, and it would move on. Okay, so that's why this is good to have tardigrades laying their eggs in skin. And here's that amoeba again. Oh, come on. And amoebas are slow moving, so they kind of move slow. But they can, once they get something, if it don't get out right away, it'll get it. That's for sure. Yeah, thanks, Crime Killer. Yeah, this is fun to do. I'm gonna go back to, so this is what a tardigrade looks like in nature, probably. They're clear. God darn it. See YouTube? Whenever I touch the screen to pinch zoom, it brings up my comments. I'm gonna have to figure out how to solve that. So this is with refracted light going from all angles. This is what tardigrades look like more than how you used to see them through my microscope. They're clearish and their digestive tract can be seen better. But this is pretty much what they look like in the wild. So I've usually seen a tardigrade with 3 or 4, but you could see them with 5 or 6 sometimes. Yeah, man, those eggs, they are pretty cool. So those eggs. So this is a tardigrade again, and kind of the regular microscope light that comes directly from the bottom. So it gives it a false look of what they really look like. They're really not this dark in nature. And neither are those other things. Almost everything on this slide is clear. Yeah, they need to add this to Minecraft. Kill me, please. I want to see it kill something. Tardigrades tardigrades can eat these rotifers that you see, not those where they're at. See this right here? Tardigrades they'll go stick their jaw, I guess you would say, into the bottom of this thing right here and suck the juice out of them. They've been known to do that. It's not, I've never seen it, but they could do it. This is a tardigrade that is sleeping. So, and look, now he's laying on his back with his feet up in the air. So, check that out. So you can see he's kind of laying on his back. But now it's on his side. He's flipping over, look. So he got caught in the whirlwind of that rotifer. So you can see his mouth on this part. So since this one's staying still, notice you can see him right here. So there's his mouth part. So he's not dead. This one will come back to life in a little while. Maybe if I kept the light blaring on him right now, probably in about 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't get paid anything unless you donate. Somebody asked, how much do I get paid for this? I have a biology degree, but I don't get paid unless, now I do get donations for other equipment, so feel free. I used to have a friend on here that used to say, make me a paid biologist. Make me donate $1 and make me a paid biologist. Yeah, it's not dead. That one's not dead. I know I moved around a little bit, so he's not dead. He'll start moving around. See, there he is right there. All right, I'm gonna go in about 5 minutes. I gotta go in about 5 minutes. Let's see if I can keep the light on this one and see if he'll start moving around. He does, you notice his digestive tract. He's got some food in there. He's still got an intact. You can almost see what you would consider his throat right there in the middle. So you can see his face up there to the top right, and then it comes down. He's got that little bitty, and this Rotifers pushing him around. Now he's laying on his back again. Well, if you blow in a slide, yeah, yeah, I mean, it'll feel like wind to them, that's for sure. This one, yeah, I got about 3 or 4 more minutes, so let me go to so you can see that other tardigrade looks sort of about the size of this one. Yeah, you don't want to look at that thing. Look at this this little paramecium guy. He had that. He sucked in that bacteria. Look at this rotifer's got it now. Let's see if this rotifer eats that. Yep, 6 legs. Hey, look, gang, I'm gonna go in about 1 minute. I gotta go pick up my daughter. So if you can, I don't know if I'll come back later today, but I'm here on here usually about once a day. So if you can subscribe, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll see it right there. And if you want to make me a paid biologist, you can go ahead and donate to my Cash App, KenSkid2001. Or Venmo. So thanks a lot. So I'm gonna be gone in a few seconds. Okay, gang, thanks a lot. I'm gonna sign off and send me a personal message if you want a question answered and that I didn't get to, send me that, and I'll see y'all soon. Maybe later today, but definitely tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay, thanks, Dadu. I just turned off Reddit, and I'm gonna sign off of Facebook. I'm gonna sign off of YouTube, and come back soon. Subscribe, and go watch some of my videos because it helps me get monetized. So if you can watch some of those videos, thanks a lot. Bye bye.